Think you're all set to vote? Think again. Some states are eliminating voters from the rolls. That's going to be problematic because we are in the biggest election of our lives. Some of you are thinking, oh, this lady is crazy because I have voted in a recent election, or I know that I'm registered to vote because I remember registering to vote. That does not matter. Voters who have been active have found that they were eliminated from the voter rolls in certain states. So that's why we need to consider checking our voter registration regularly, kind of like changing the oil of our car. This year, September 17th is National Voter Registration Day. So make sure that on that day or even before, you double check that you are registered to vote. And this is a topic where I want you to reach out to any friends who might be immigrants who are now US citizens. Because for some of us, we were automatically registered to vote in the countries where we come from. So the idea that we have to register to vote in our state, or that we have to re-register to vote if we change our address, even if it's 3 houses down, that is not a concept that all of us grew up with. So just remember, you have to be regularly checking your voter registration. And if you are in any of these states, please make sure that you double, triple check, because some of the people in power in these states are eliminating voters from the rolls without valid reasons. I also want to provide you with a link to a post where you can check the voter registration deadlines for each state. And you can share that with your friends who live in other states to make sure that everybody is registered so that they can cast their ballot before the general election this year. But let's not end the conversation on voter registration. Let's talk about early voting now, because once you're registered, you can vote. And one of the best things you can do is vote early, which again is another concept that for some of us who grew up in other countries and are now US citizens might be something that we're not familiar with. But I'll get to that in a second. I will also link below to a resource you can use to check the early voting dates in your state. Because you do not have to wait, and it's actually better if you don't, until November 5th of 2024 to vote in the general election this year. Many states provide you with the option to vote early. Now, the early voting dates are going to vary by state. So that's why I'm going to put the link underneath this video. But back to my comment about people like me, immigrants who are now US citizens, we didn't grow up with this concept of early voting because where I come from, we all vote on one day, it's a Sunday, and it's a holiday. So early voting for somebody like me could mean vote very early in the morning. And that's why I would like you to add a little bit of extra context to explain to your friends, relatives, or acquaintances that in the United States, it's not really a voting day, it's a voting season. So that's your homework. Check your voter registration, ask 3 friends or relatives to check their voter registration, and then go vote early.